Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are listening, tuned in, and tapped in to Manifesting Miracles with me, Michelle Juanita Lamont. And it is time for you to align yourself with the highest possible vibration of this universe, of this lifetime, in this solar system, and in this reality. No, my friends, you have not found this podcast, this YouTube, this information by mistake. Your higher self, your guides, and your angels have been guiding you and leading you and taking you down this path, so you can end up right here. You know why? Because it's time, baby. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time for you to align. And this is the podcast, the show, the information. And I am the manifestation master, author, and speaker that you have been waiting to align with your entire life. And I know this because I myself have been waiting for somebody like me. And so I had to become it. You know, that's a really good quote. If you want to see change in the world, you have to become it. And I believe that was Mahatma Gandhi who said, if you want to see change in the world, you have to become it. And so on today's podcast and on today's episode, we are going to be talking about how to find your point of vibration to manifest anything into your reality. And I want you to listen because you're going to really like this one. This one's really going to impact you. And what you're going to find is that you're going to be watching and listening and using this information every single day in your life. And you're going to become a vibrational match to higher and bigger and better things. And so first I want to start by saying thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time listening, well, you are not alone. Put your seatbelt in, click in, the tray table forward. This ride is the ride to abundance, baby. And my name is Michelle Juanita Lamont. I'm a manifestation master. I'm a manifestation author. I'm a coach, professional speaker, and award-winning podcast host. Hello, hello, hello. And soon to be YouTube sensation. I just know it. But regardless, every single soul that tunes in and checks out this vibration is already worthy of receiving all of my attention, all of my affection, and all of my love. See, that's the way the universe sees us, that we're already blessed, that we're already worthy. That in this lifetime, it's time for us to align ourselves with that synchronicity, with that vibration, with that energy and that frequency. And for me, it took a long time because I was one of those people, and I'm sure you know a lot of people just like this. I was the tell it like it is bitch. All right. You don't like him? Put me in that situation. I'll tell him what it is. I'll tell him what to do. I'll tell him. Because misery loves company. And boy, was I miserable. I had a very difficult upbringing. And then I married somebody who was, in the beginning, an awesome dude. And then the things that he loved about me, he ended up hating and resenting, which then led to this very painful and abusive marriage where I was verbally, emotionally, and mentally abused my entire marriage. And then finally, miscarriage after miscarriage, leading to the day that I filed for divorce and I left him. And after that, I want you to listen to episode 2 and find out what I did and how far down the rabbit hole I went. And it's called Manifesting Miracles Podcast. And over 125,000 people have already tuned in. And it's only August of 2022, Earth year, August 2022. And it's shocking to me, some of the questions that I get. It's shocking to me, the stories I hear. See, I offer a free 15-minute phone call because I care about you. And I want to know your story. And if I can recommend a book or a prayer or a meditation or a modality, maybe it's a crystal or a candle or something, to help move this energy for you on that 15-minute call, that's exactly what I'm going to do because I love you. And I already know that you're worthy of receiving everything that you want. It's just a matter of you understanding and tapping into this energy. So when I was in that very low negative vibrational state, one of the things that would really fucking piss me off were positive ass people like me. I would be so annoyed. They're going to tell me how happy their lives are and how great their marriage is and how they can eat anything they want. And they don't gain a pound and they won the lottery and they got another raise and they didn't do anything and blah, 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 blah. And their children got accepted to Harvard and on full scholarships and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, fuck you and your positivity, right? The most annoying thing when you are living in a unaligned life are the happy people that the universe forces you to interact with. And what I didn't realize at the time was that those people, they lived in a different vibrational point of attraction than I did. And in order for me to align myself with that vibration, I was going to have to tear down everything that I believed I was. I believed I was a tell it to them straight kind of girl. I believed that I was the person who could get anybody to do anything they wanted. I mean, to get anybody to do anything I wanted. And I didn't have to help them. I didn't have to listen. And I certainly did not have to care about the circumstances in which they created in after my trail of destruction. And what the universe was really doing, the universe was making sure that I saw what real happiness looked like. On the other side, I get it. I do. But those people, they made me feel so bad. Like, why do they get that life? Why does she get to have everything? And why does he get to have everything? And why are they so fucking happy? What is so broken? What is so broken about me that I don't get that shit? And you see, I was bleeding all over people who never cut me. They didn't give me away. They didn't abandon me. They didn't sexually abuse me. They didn't physically abuse me. They didn't mentally abuse me. They didn't emotionally abuse me. They didn't cause my miscarriages. They didn't cause my assaults. But I hated them. I hated them in their happy little fucking faces. I hated everything about them. And then they would brag. Oh, I'm so happy. We're going on vacation. La-di-da-di. We likes to party. And I would get so frustrated and so annoyed. But you see, what the universe was really doing, the universe was showing me how out of alignment I actually was. And so when I started to go down this path of mine, of annihilating everybody who was happy and making sure that people did not see me in that state. So whenever I met a super positive person, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm happy too. It's my dry erase board cleaner. Oh yeah, I'm super happy. Everything's always working out. Everything's great. Like there's a Saturday Night Live skit, and I can't remember the name of the chick. The actor, I can see her face right now, but I can't remember her name or the character's name. But no matter what somebody said, she was the one up. Oh, I'm so happy. You know, my like this is a segment, a skit. Okay. Oh, my sister just had a baby. And then the Saturday Night Live skit person would be like, oh yeah, well, my sister just had 20 babies. And all of her babies are already pre-accepted into Harvard. And all of the Ivy League schools already want them. And they're already fabulous. And she's pregnant again with her 21st baby. And that baby is genetically perfect. And every time anybody would say something, she would just one up them and one up them and one up them and one up them. And That is exactly the kind of people that I would try to avoid, but that I became when I was in my 3D reality state. Positive people, fuck you. You're going to tell me something? I'm going to tell you about 50 things that are going great for me, even though not one of them was. And then, and then I would I would wallow in my sorrow and assume that everybody was a fucking liar. Well, there's no way she's that happy. There's no way that's happening. There's no way that's going that great. There's no way. There's no way. And I would look for little chinks in the armor, and I would look for things that weren't lining up, because I just couldn't wrap my head around the fact that some people had it really good while the others were suffering and toiling and reveling in this low vibrational 3D earth. So my spiritual awakening started in 2016. And excuse me, if this is your first time tuning in, I'm Michelle Juanita Lamont. I'm a manifestation master, author, speaker, and coach. And I've designed programs after programs, and ways that you can work with me to manifest things into your reality. I have the skin in the game. I have the placards on the wall. Go to Michelle J. Lamont and look at my cred. Okay. I've worked with thousands of people. You'll see testimonies everywhere about what it's like to work with me, and how much their lives have changed and how happy they are and how satisfied life became. I have people that come in and they were about to get divorced, and they take one of my workshops and they realize where they were in that low vibrational state, saved their marriage, even had another kid, opened a business. They went from 200,000 to 400,000. They went from 400,000 to a million. They went to a million to 5. And one of the things that I love teaching in my many workshops or in my one-on-one coaching, I have a 6 weeks to success program, 90 days and 6 months, is that I want you to tell me your story. And in today's podcast, one of the things that we're going to discuss, and we are discussing, is this aspect. You see, you have to start telling a new story. Why? Well, if not, you're going to continue to stay attached to that suffering. I had to forgive my first assault, physical assault, when I was 10 in the orphanage, because nobody believed me. And then when I was old enough to tell the stories, I was listening to how I was treated. I was feeling those feelings. I was living in that moment. I was suffering. I was suffering. I was suffering. I was suffering. And every time I told that story, I had to reconnect to that version of me that had suffered so deeply. My dog's in here. And until I started talking about the future me, how I was going to do all these things and how happy my life was going to be, and I was going to live in a tropical location and by the water, and I was going to have all this joy and all this happiness, and I was going to be married, and I was going to be this and I was going to be that, I would re-energize some of the worst moments that I've experienced here on earth. And the other thing, when I was around all these little happy people that I'm begging you to become, was that I would compare my life to theirs. Oh, I'm like, wow, you're how old? You have what? You've done what? And so if you're in the stage of comparing yourself with everybody that you meet, it's time for you to stop doing that and to start telling a new story. Because when you start speaking differently and moving differently and acting differently, you're going to see that positivity is not bad. It's not toxic. It's not evil. It's not a lie. You're going to understand that you don't have to play it safe. Okay. I love when people say, I don't know if I should do that. Maybe I should just play it safe. Well, what has playing it safe done for you so far? Tell me, because I want to know. Maybe I have it wrong. I don't think so. And so we want to get in and tell a different story. Okay. And I'm going to give you a prime example of that right now. I'm just going to check on my time really quick because I don't want to keep you a second longer than I promised. Try to keep these close to 25 to 30 minutes as possible. All right. So if this is your first time listening, I'm really going to ask you to do a couple of things. First, always gets me emotional. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for, I'm thanking your guides right now, and I'm thanking your higher self for bringing you into this reality, because the more people who are in a higher collective consciousness, the faster we can all manifest, the brighter this world becomes, the lighter this world becomes, the suffering goes down. The bigotry, the hatred, the xenophobia, the predecision to judge people because of who they want to love or the color of their skin or how they want to worship their God goes away. So it's kind of selfish. But the second reason is because I lived in that horror for so long. And there was literally nobody speaking into me. Have you ever heard that term? They spoke into me. That's what I do. I speak into you. I pierce past the veil of insecurity and doubt and fear. And I teach you what a powerful, powerful, powerful person you are. You see, when you sign up and work with me, it's not because these systems that I created are so great. They are. It's not because I've been so successful as an entrepreneur. I have. Just in business alone, I can transform your business. But because I've experienced some of the worst of humanity. And now I get to tell this whole new story, and I get to be one of those really fucking annoying, happy people who are always finding the joy in everything. And I think it's more about my alignment than anything else. Some of the things that I changed most was I used to always be inside. I used to always be on the internet. And now it's even worse. Now they want you to be locked down into these video games, or they want you to go into the metaverse. What a fucking mind control. Well, we can't control you through television anymore, so come into this fake reality where you can be anything. Bitch, please go into the world and create that reality. It is going to happen if you stay in the light. So one of the first things I'm going to have you do is get outside and ground yourself. Put your feet in some fucking earth. And if you don't have feet, use your hands. And if you don't have hands, ask somebody to roll you around or wheel you in the sun. And feel the powerful rays of the sun, that energy, that essence, that keeps all of us warm and safe every single day. It carries a very powerful vibration. Get outside and ground yourself. Stay in the highest possible vibrational state so you can align higher, and you can align higher, and your metaverse is the universe, baby. You don't need to go and create an avatar. You are the fucking avatar. You are the avatar. Start playing the game. Start playing the game. Tell suffering to take a hike and start telling a new story. Start telling a story of the future you. I live in a beautiful place. I have a loving relationship. I am financially free. I am. Emotionally, vibrationally, and energetically, I align with everything and everywhere I go. Even if it's going negatively, I find some way to make it positive. And the next best thing that you can do is start to see how everything is lining up, how things are shifting, how things are changing. You want to take notice of this. You want to take notice of this because you want to have more and more and more and more good days. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Everybody's lying anyway. And start just changing the direction of the vibration of your life. First, try to not be annoyed by happy people. Second, understand that if their happiness makes you pissed off, it's because the universe wants you to stop seeing positive as negative. They're showing you what a juxtaposition that you're in. That other people don't live like this. Only you. And the third and the most important thing is stop comparing yourself to others. Get outside in the sun. Get out into the earth. Get into the ocean. Go to the mountains. Go to the forest. Go to the lake. Any place that their creation, that the creator has created something, go and live in it, seep in it, absorb it, be it, appreciate it. Hug the trees, talk to the birds, sit in the sunshine, and stop telling the story of your misery. Stop telling the story of your sadness. Stop telling the story. And if you're going to tell it in a new way. Tell it in a new way. So here is the happy version of my upbringing. I'm very proud to be a first generation American. And my mother, because of her looks, was invited to America to model, where she fell in love with a very well educated, wealthy individual who is my father. She came to this country and learned English on Sesame Street, was able to open and run multiple businesses, get her accreditations. She was an esthetician, a hairstylist, and a beautician. And she owned several businesses, little hustler. Then she was gifted with undifferentiated lymphomic cancer after proudly and lovingly birthing 5 children. I'm the first American. My brother was born in Colombia, and that's where she's from. And when she passed away, my father knew in his heart that he would one day become an alcoholic. And that he knew in his heart that if he could give me away, that my chances of becoming something were greater than if I lived with him. And so he took me to a children's orphanage a couple of months after my mother died, where I experienced some of the greatest lessons of my life. I went on to college where I met my husband, and we had adventures that took us around the world. We lived in Mexico, we lived in the United States. I lived in Colombia as a child, but he and I traveled the globe. I've been to 19 countries. I've started 2 successful businesses, and I learned how to be a really great aunt and an incredible dog mom. And the one thing that I can say of all of the great things that have happened to me in my life, the greatest lessons have come through the biggest sufferings. And my story is yet to be finished, and so is yours. When we start changing our history, we can start to heal it. And so, how do we heal our history? Well, we go to a time and a place where where we can dive deep into the subconscious mind and visit that version of us that suffered. Time is an illusion. Time is not what you think it is. And so, as you start to revisit your history, and you can visualize yourself in that suffering, whether it's a physical or sexual or mental or an emotional abuse, I want you to lean in and love that person, you and the abuser, you and the situation. Wrap your energetic arms around both of them. I forgive, I let go, and I release. And then send all the love you can to yourself in that moment. Think about all the joy you're going to feel when you release this. Think about all the things that you can manifest when you have so much room off of the density and the fear and the loathing of that memory or those memories. Think about co-collaborating and creating a future version of yourself that has never had suffering. And live in those moments as often as you can, because you are here to co-collaborate and create with the greatest creator of all. So if you are telling a saga story, you cannot create a future version of you in joy and happiness and love and in light. Can't be the martyr and the magician. And no matter who I've studied, what thought leader, what scientist, what religious book I've read, what self-help book I've read, what courses I've taken, what accreditations I've had. The thing that really got me to understand this was never play it safe. Happy people are aligned. And anybody, no matter what your background is, no matter where you came from, no matter where you live. See, there's people listening from around the globe right now, in Africa, in London, in England, in Germany, in Austria, in Canada. No matter where you're listening, I'm holding an intention of love for you. I'm holding an intention of positivity. I am holding space for you to heal. Heal that version of you, let go and forgive. And don't dive deeper and deeper into isolation. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. When you see somebody succeeding, just know that that's your success. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And the most important thing you can do is listen to another episode of Manifesting Miracles with me, Michelle J. Lamont. Time for me to wrap up. And I want you to know that there's over 160 episodes right now, and this is the year 2022, Earth year 2022, August. And I have 2 classes left for this year. It is the master class. It's a level 2 class where we go into the metaphysical for an entire week. We go into how to manifest money for an entire week. And then we go into the properties of manifesting. So I'm going to give you all the tools in the tool chest. I'm going to reveal all the things that I can't talk about in just 30 minutes here on the podcast. And no matter what state you are in, you can master and level up. And that's what this course is for. And I do it based on your life path number. And if you don't know what your life path number is, I suggest you go to that episode. I believe it's 47, and listen to how you can do this. But you can go to Tolkien Rock or any other place and look up life path calculator. So for me, I am a Scorpio rising. So um, that means that I'm a very old astrology sign, very stubborn and very sexual or very sexy. I don't know if I'm very sexy, but I am who I am. And I'm a life path 9. And so that means that I am considered a wizard or whatever you want to call it. And this is my 9th time here to the planet Earth. And I want you to check it out because I used to think that my astrological sign was like dead on about me until I found my life path number. And then it was like, holy shit. So I built this course, the master class, around guess what? Your life path number. So I'll give you the practice, the modality, what to do, how to do it. And then as a life path 1 or a life path 2 or a life path 4, etc., I'll show you how to use those techniques to, and as in your path, how you would handle that differently. Because you have to agree, if you know anything about astrology, a Gemini is not going to handle something the way that an Aquarius is. And a Scorpio is definitely not going to handle something the way an Aries would, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so this course is really designed to level you up. It starts August 21st. All my classes are on Sunday nights because what are we doing on a Sunday but getting ready for the week? So you might as well get lined up and prepared to succeed. And it's 2 hours, it's taped, and and it's live. This is not a bunch of recordings that you're just gonna buy and watch. You get to talk to me. You get to ask me direct questions, and you get to meet your tribe. Do you feel alone in the world? If you take one of my classes, if you join one of my groups, you're going to find your spiritual bestie. And if you hate the course and you don't learn anything from it, I'll give you your money back. That's how sure I am of what I'm doing because I don't care. Money is only energy. And I got so much energy to give, baby. Okay? I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. You are worthy. No matter where you come from, no matter what you've done, no matter who you think you have been, everything can change right now. So I want you to get past this microphone and into my reality. I want you to step into the sunshine of your life because it's about time that you start being one of those happy people, those annoyingly happy people, and start talking about and singing about and bragging. Yes, bragging about how wonderful it is to be you. I used to hate myself so much, and therefore I hated you for just existing. And if my life hadn't turned around so dramatically by something so negative, I would have to come back again. And I'm not coming back again. I'm here as a guide, and I want to guide you to the highest version of yourself. So please book a free 15-minute call. Share this podcast or this YouTube with 5 people that you know can use a lift, that you know is ready to transform and change their lives, that they're ready to see this other version of themselves. I had no fucking clue how sad I was until I got happy. And I didn't come with some toxic positivity bullshit either. I had earned every ounce of this. And all I want to do is spend the rest of my life teaching each and every one of you all the things that I have done, all the courses and all the classes and all the heavy lifting is already been done by me. Aren't you tired of living the way that you've been living? Don't you want your reality to shift and change? Sometimes it's just a little tweak, and sometimes it's major surgery. But no matter who you are loved. And the higher version the Creator, I call it God, sent you with an army of guides and angels and helpers. And a lot of times they look like demons. They're just disguised as angels. So I would invite you to go to Michelle J. Lamont and book your free 15-minute call. I also offer a 1 hour and a 2 hour call. And then I do 6 weeks to success, 90 days of coaching, and 6 months. I can also certify you as a manifestation master. Play around on my website, sign up for my newsletter, get my book for free. But whatever you do, don't give up. Please. No matter how insignificant you think you are not. I wish I could make you see how powerful you are. I wish I could just flip the switch and make the whole world change. But what fun would that be? You might say, I don't want to suffer anymore. And I don't want you to. I want you to pick up the phone, call me. I want you to book a Zoom with me. I want you to listen to another episode and another episode and another episode and another episode. And don't stop. Raise your own vibration and then spread it with everybody in your community. Put it in your TikToks, put it in your Instagrams, put it in your Reels, put it in your LinkedIn, put it in your Facebook, put it in your group chat. Tell your sister, tell your mother, tell your boss, tell your soulmate, tell your best friend, tell your exes. Help me help them. As much as I want to help you, we have to keep the ball moving. So on my hands and knees, I beg you, I beg you, I beg you to start living your life differently. You are so worthy. You're so worthy. And I love you. You want to know if one person on this planet loves you? I do. If you reached out to me, I'll respond. I know that it's hard to believe that, but it's true. And if you ever met me, you would know it. Why do you think I have hundreds and hundreds of positive reviews? Because what I teach and how I teach it and how I show you how powerful you are is something you'll never forget. And once you learn it, you can teach it to everybody in your reality and start changing and being the change that you want to see in the world. And I love you and you're protected. All right, producers, it's time to wrap it up. Okay, friends? I am Michelle Juanita Lamont, and you have been listening to Manifesting Miracles with Michelle Juanita Lamont, and it is time for you to go and manifest your miracle today. So let's do it. Everything is always working out for you, and it is time to go and get your reality today. Hey, yes, 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 yes. You are worthy, 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 and it is time for you to receive everything that you came here to manifest.